Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm going to be telling you all about the books that I would like to prioritise reading in May. May is normally quite a hectic month for me. It seems like in the past few years there's always been something massive going on in May, and I'm very busy this May as well, just with regards to finishing up on some assignments for my master's degree. I've also got a lot of stuff to figure out with regards to next steps that I'm taking in life, and not to overanalyze something too much, but I think because quite a bit of my life has been unstructured and slightly up in the air in recent months, it has been really nice to have a TBR, a set of books that I want to read every month, and know that that is organized and sorted and structured. That's just been really, really good for my brain. But at the same time, I'm not overly strict with myself when it comes to my TBRs. If I decide that I want to read something else that month, then that's completely fine. I don't beat myself up about it. I give myself plenty of room to do some mood reading as well. On my April TBR, there are quite a few books from that I didn't read because I decided to participate in the Owls readathon quite last minute, and not all of the books that I had selected for my monthly TBR really fit into those challenges. But again, I'm not bothered that I didn't read everything that was on my TBR. So anyways, let's just get into the books. The non-fiction book that I would like to prioritise reading in May is The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. This is a proof copy, but the final version is out now. The final cover looks like this. This is Melinda Gates' memoir, and it has a lot to do with her approach to business, and her thoughts on gender inequality and how that affects society as a whole. And obviously there is some stuff in there about her marriage to Bill Gates as well. I'm really in the mood for this book now. I think it's going to be one of those books that I'm reading at a really perfect time for me, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Normally I would talk about which poetry collection I would like to prioritise reading in the upcoming month, but I'm not going to do that in this video because I am going to be doing a try a poem tag where I will read the first poem from probably 5 poetry collections, and then pick which one of those collections I would like to carry on with at that moment. So if you want to know about what poetry collection I'm going to be reading this month, keep your eyes peeled for that video. The classic book that I would like to read in May is Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. I have read one Thomas Hardy book in the past and I really enjoyed it. This is, I would say, probably his most well-known work, so I'm really intrigued to see what I think of it compared to some other reviews that I've heard of it. I've been pretty unorganised when it comes to reading my one classic book a month. I've got it done, but I've kind of scrambled towards the end of the month to get the book finished because I feel like I put it off for some reason. So I'm going to be trying to be a bit better with this one and spread it out throughout the course of May and see if that makes the reading experience a bit less stressful. The short story collection I would like to read in May is Sweet Home by Wendy Erskine. This is again a proof copy that was sent to me by Pan Macmillan, but this one comes out on the 27th of June. I just can't resist reading this one because it sounds so up my street. These are a collection of short stories that are basically little glimpses into people's lives in Belfast, and I just love any fiction that is set in Ireland. Being from Ireland myself, I'm really drawn to it. It makes me feel quite homesick, but in a good way. Every month I like to do something called tops and bottoms as well, where I read a book that is from the top of my TBR, so a book that was in my most recent book haul, and a book from the bottom of my TBR, so one of the books that has been on my TBR for the longest time. And I did a full video about the 12 books that have been on my TBR for the longest, and I will leave that linked down below if you're interested in seeing it. But the book that I have chosen from my most recent book haul is New York City in 1979 by Kathy Acker. I picked this one up on the Booktuber meetup in Gaze the Word, and I literally just read the back and I was like, this really sounds like it's up my street. But it says, a tale of art, sex, blood, junkies and whores in New York's underground from cult literary icon Kathy Acker. Last month I didn't manage to read the book I had selected from the bottom of my TBR, and that was Moth Smoke by Mohsin Hamid. This is a book that is set in Pakistan in 1998. I have read 2 of this author's other books before and I enjoyed both of them, so I am going to try get around to this one in May instead, and I may pick up another book from the bottom of my TBR if I get through this one quite quickly. And again, from my TBR last month, I didn't read the book that I had selected from a random number generator, and that was The Jungle by Pooja Puri, which is a story of friendship that is based in a Calais refugee camp, so I'm definitely going to read this one in May. This is probably like my biggest priority for the month. And a little bonus addition to my TBR, this one is published by Ink Road, which are publishers that I'm really fond of, and I'm actually going to be picking up another one of their books this month as well, and that is Starfish by Okemi Dawn Bowman. This was a book that I planned on reading for the Owls Readathon, and it's the only one that I didn't get round to reading, so I'm really excited to pick this one up this month, and it's my little nod to the mental health readathon that is happening in May, and I will leave all the relevant information linked for that in the description as well if you want to find out more. I'm also going to be doing a buddy read this month. I'm going to be reading In Bloom by CJ Scoose. I'm going to be reading this with the wonderful Harriet, who I will link down below in the description. This is the sequel to Sweet Pea, which is a very funny thriller that we both really enjoyed. So I'm excited to see how this one develops that character. So these are the books that I'm going to be prioritizing to read in May. I do think this is quite an ambitious TBR, especially considering I'm probably going to be quite busy in May. But as I said, I've really enjoyed giving my reading quite a bit of structure. It's been really good for my brain. There may not be a lot of space to do some mood reading, but we will see how we get on, and if I want to change my mind about reading any of these books this month, then I have no problem in doing so. Do leave me a comment down below if you've read any of these books and let me know what you thought of them. Are there any that I should be really excited for? And if you've not read any of them, let me know what you're currently reading, because I always love hearing that. It's a great way for me to find recommendations as well. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you in my next video.